The sell-off has begun. Well, kind of. The Orioles pick up this man, Elvin Rodriguez. I'm going to tell you what it all means, and it means a lot. Hello, everybody. I'm Jon Leiberman. This is Orioles Digest. We have a lot to talk about as we embark on the second part of the Orioles season. 7.5 back in the wild card. The run differential, the third worst in the AL, only behind the White Sox and the A's. And now a very, very clear indication that the Orioles are going to offload several starting pitchers in the very near term. We're going to get to that in just a moment and what it all means. Please like, subscribe, do all of the things. This is Orioles Digest, and we're going to be here through this, what is going to be a tumultuous trade deadline for the Birds and beyond as well. So here's the very latest for you. Probably not the news that you want to hear, and you probably haven't heard of this guy. This is Elvin Rodriguez. The Birds claimed him off of waivers from the Brewers, optioned him to AAA Norfolk, and the Birds now have 39 players on the 40-man roster. So who is Elvin Rodriguez, and what does this actually mean? Well, he's a 27-year-old, and he has a bunch of options left, which gives the Orioles great kind of flexibility with him. And let's look at his numbers briefly. His numbers in the big leagues stink. Absolutely horrible. He's pitched in 6 big league games, tattooed for 18 runs on 23 hits, 7 walks, but 7 of those hits were home runs. Now, to be fair to Rodriguez, he's been much better in AAA. 29 2/3, a 4.25 ERA, and he actually does have I think it's 20.3% strikeout rate and a low walk rate. So this is a guy Milwaukee signed to a split major league deal in the offseason. He spent last year pitching in Japan. And then he came back. But his time with the Brewers has absolutely been a struggle. So you may be asking yourself the same question many of us initially were asking ourselves, which is, why would the Birds make this pickup? Well, here's why. He's in the second of 3 minor league option years, which gives the Orioles great flexible depth. But what it really means is you're going to see this guy as either a stretch backup option in the starting rotation, or you're going to see him fill some time in the bullpen. And here, let's just cut to the chase. In the next few weeks, chances are Charlie Morton's going to go, Zach Eflin's going to go, Tomoyuki Sugano's going to go. Those 3 guys were rentals, and look, I mean, as much as we hate to admit it, if you hold on to them hoping that we're going to really have a miracle turnaround, and it doesn't happen, then you're stuck not getting anything for these guys. And each of these 3 has value on the open market, which we're going to get to in a moment. So that's scenario 1. Another very likely scenario is that the Birds offload some of their bullpen arms as well. Whether it's Greg Soto or Kittredge or Seranthony Dominguez, they're all essentially free agents at the end of the year. I mean, Kittredge has an option for 2026, but they're essentially free agents too. So this is not going to be the last pickup that you see like this. This is the first, and this is probably even a bigger indication than dealing Brian Baker of what we're looking at over the next few weeks, which is the Orioles are going to get guys to fill in spots, number 1. Number 2, they're going to hope they get some of their stud pitchers back healthy. Grayson Rodriguez, Tyler Wells, and the like. Hopefully Chase McDermott gets healthy, Cade, all these guys. So it's kind of a two-edged thing right now. It's kind of a hedge, right? You're going to see a lot of the Birds get unloaded so that they can obviously make room, and they weren't going to re-sign these guys anyway for the most part because they have to have room for the young core and the money for the young core. So you're going to see that happen in conjunction with trying to contend should the Birds get some of these pitchers back, and I'm only talking pitching right now, get some of them back from the IL. But look, it's a lot to make up, right? Zach Eflin's been far from great this year. He was great for a period of time, and with the injuries and, the struggles, 62 innings pitched. His ERA is approaching 6. The whip is not where you want it at 143, 144. And yeah, he's been walking 2 per 9, which isn't terrible, but obviously these aren't the numbers that are going to garner, ginormous returns. However, here's the however on Zach Eflin and why he's attractive. Zach Eflin is attractive because he does know how to pitch. He's been in pennant races before, and if he comes back healthy, he could absolutely be a very strong 3 or 4 on a contending team. Keep in mind, a lot of pressure was put on Eflin to be the ace this year, particularly when Grayson went down as well. But again, now you look at Charlie Morton, probably the biggest surprise for the Birds from a starting pitching perspective over the past 2 months. Now, his numbers don't necessarily reflect just how great he's been, and I use the word great. He has been great over the last 6 weeks. Overall, 83 innings. He's given up the 11 homers. He's got more than a strikeout per inning. And that ERA is a bit misleading because you'll remember his ERA was approaching 20 at the beginning of the season. He's gotten it down in a huge way. And Charlie Morton, again, you talk about value, and value isn't just in the statistics. Value is also in the track record. Charlie Morton, again, could go to a team. He could be a 4 or 5 and a very effective one if he continues pitching the way that he is right now. So to sum it up for right now, look, probably not the exact news that anybody wanted to hear that the Birds picked up Elvin Rodriguez, who has struggled mightily at the major league level, has been decent at AAA. But look, the reality is this isn't going to be the last pickup because the Orioles are going to have holes to fill once they unload a lot of these guys that they were going to lose at the end of the year anyway. Best case scenario for the Birds now, best case is they get some good returns for some of these guys that they're going to deal. They get other guys back healthy for the rotation. And look, miracles happen. So maybe that all comes together and it makes the second half of the season interesting. I'm trying to stay positive in that way. I hope you are too. I'm Jon Leiberman. This is Orioles Digest.